When Barbra Streisand released her album Love Is the Answer in 2009, she became the first recording artist ever to achieve #1 albums in 5 consecutive decades. The multi-talented singer, songwriter, actor and filmmaker has broken so many records that she can deservedly be called a phenomenon. Speaking at the Elysee Palace, where she received the Officer of the Legion of Honor Award in 2007, she outlined what it is that keeps her performing.
I leave with a sense of inspiration and responsibility as an artist to always tell the truth, and as a citizen to try and create a world of justice, compassion, equality and peace, one with a little more music and a little more joy. Merci beaucoup.
Although Barbra calls herself the actress who sings, it's her magnificent voice that sets her apart for many of her fans. Beginning life as Barbara, she dropped the A in the 1960s to make her name more distinctive. Her father died when she was only 15 months old, and her mother Diana raised Barbra and her older sister alone. Barbra sang to support her family while she was still a teenager, but her first serious singing gig was at the Lion, a gay bar in Manhattan's Greenwich Village. At the age of 22, her portrait graced the cover of Time magazine, thanks to the runaway success of Funny Girl at the Winter Garden Theatre. The musical introduced 2 songs that would become her signature pieces, People and Don't Rain on My Parade. Highly prolific, Barbra has recorded 35 studio albums, sung in musicals, and appeared in many television music specials. In the 1970s, she was also prominent in the pop charts, with a number of top 10 songs. In 1985, she returned to her Broadway roots, and in the 1990s, she took time out from her singing to concentrate on the acting career she had always desired. Her legions of fans were thrilled when she finally announced in 1993 she would hold her first public concerts for 27 years. What began as a New Year's Eve event turned into a multi-city tour that took in England, and British fans were overjoyed to have her all to themselves, although tickets were far from cheap. Barbra was one of the highest paid concert performers in history.
Well, she has a marvellous nose, she's a woman, she's Jewish and she's very rich. What more could you want?
How much did you pay for her ticket?
105, because it was the only one left, but I'd certainly have gone for a lot more. My husband's over there looking at me, but I would have gone for a lot. I would have gone for a lot more.
I got my ticket at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would have queued all night. I came with sleeping bags at the lot.
Barbra has always been an inspiration for up-and-coming performers, especially women. Celine Dion, who won an Academy Award for her Titanic hit My Heart Will Go On, was scheduled to sing with her heroine at the Grammy Awards in 1998. It was to be a much-anticipated meeting of extraordinary voices, but unfortunately Barbra had to cancel due to illness. In 2000, she once again worried her devoted fans by announcing that her upcoming world tour would be her last concert series. Despite her status as one of the most experienced performers in the entertainment industry, she still suffered from terrible pre-concert nerves.
It's so nice to be back home in New York. Thank you so much.
Celebrities joined the throng in New York's Madison Square Garden, the last venue of her mini farewell tour, which had kicked off in Los Angeles only the week before, and everyone was on the edge of their seats.
We've been more excited today almost than we have been for anything else. It means to be a part of history, and to see her in the flesh and to be a part of it is just, there's not going to be another night like this.
Then again, the best-selling female artist of all time had announced her retirement before, only to return for a Millennium New Year's Eve show in Las Vegas. And the Reverend Jesse Jackson spoke for many when he said he hoped he hadn't seen the last of Barbra live.
This cannot be the conclusion. There must be an encore. Between the divine within her and the public outcry on the outside, we demand an encore.
In 2005, she reunited with Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees to record a new CD. They'd originally teamed up in 1980 for the best-selling album Guilty, which won them both Grammy Awards. The first album was recorded in a studio, but this time round the vocals were recorded in one of Barbra's houses overlooking the ocean. To their delight, lightning did strike in the same place twice, with early sales of Guilty Pleasures pushing the album to the #2 spot behind Paul McCartney.
Actually, there was a little reticence, I think, on both of our parts over the years. I think that, you know, sometimes it's nice to hit and run. It's nice to sort of do something that really works and then sort of leave it alone and move on to something else. And I think that was our first way of thinking when we did Guilty. So we weren't really in a hurry to repeat Guilty. The only way we could approach it was to treat it like we were just doing another album again and to try not to think about that first album. And to that extent, I think it worked.
Luckily for her fans, Barbra's retirement from live performing proved short-lived. And in 2006, she was back giving her all in a multi-city tour of the US. She attributed her change of heart to the desire to give something back through the Streisand Foundation.
Money for great charities that I believe in. You know, there's so much to be done in the world today, and certainly even medical research for women and fighting against nuclear proliferation, global warming. So many good things to do in the world that I have to raise money, you know, just call me a charity slut.
Barbra's foundation has spent over $10 million on human rights, environmental campaigns, women's education and other causes close to her heart. When asked about her return to the stage, she acknowledged that age had played a large part in her decision.
I mean, you know, one matures, one gets less afraid, one appreciates the fans and wanting to see me, and I want to give that back. I'm also going because I can raise more money from my foundation.
At the age of 64, she set new gross records in 14 of the American arenas she played. In 2007, a tour of Europe stopped off in Berlin, and concert promoter Peter Schwenkow had to work hard to bring the star to her German fans.
I insisted, I asked repeatedly, I begged, I pleaded, and I made a good offer. I've known her manager for more than 10 years, and we always jokingly said, it's never going to happen. But now it has, thank God.
Barbra finished this concert series in London. Tickets went on sale for between £50 and £1,500, but none of her loving fans complained.
I haven't performed here since 1994, when I began my first concert tour, and now I'm ending my first European tour in the same city, so that there's a lovely kind of symmetry, right? So, oh, thank you, and thank you so much for coming out tonight to welcome me back so warmly. Thank you.